Hello. So, with 48 hours to go till the doors close on my Game Changer course, I wanted to chat about a few more questions that I've had in. If there's anyone on live, please send me a message in the comments. If not, I'm just going to go through the questions I have had already. So one of them says, there's lots of great stuff on mindset. Is there enough practical content in there in terms of running your freelance life like a business? So yes, absolutely. There are 6 modules, and I think of them in 2 parts. So the first part is a foundational mindset, the foundational mindset. This is talking about money, thinking about your money mindset, personal branding, networking. These are all the core principles that once you have them in place, you will then be able to that will be the base really for thinking of your freelance career as a business, and most importantly will actually influence every single decision you make, because you're coming at it from a place of power and strength as a business owner rather than as a desperate freelancer, like a desperate little individual, negotiating with kind of like big clients. You, in your mind, see yourself on their level. So then we have, and that's a bit more, I guess, of what I touched on in the challenge. The business basics are the second part. So those are things like how you navigate the feast and famine of freelancing, how you put certain things in place to protect yourself if a client, for example, backs away from a verbal agreement of giving you a big piece of work. So let's say I spoke with someone just this morning who said there was a big piece of work that she was promised in February and it didn't materialize. And I really felt for her, because I've been in exactly this position. Like, I've been in exactly this place. This happened to me a few years ago. Quite a few years ago now, when I just got married, I remember, and weddings are expensive, as a lot of you probably know. We'd gone on a honeymoon, and I had been asked to keep a month free after my honeymoon. And I thought, great, what a great way to recoup money. And then a week went by and another week went by, and the work never materialized. I was already quite broke from having just got married and gone on honeymoon, and I was really kicking myself for not having something in place. It didn't occur to me that I could, because every client I'd worked up until then with had honored this agreement, especially when it's a big piece of work. So what I did after that was, because I just felt so burned, I put things in place to prevent that ever happening again. And it's not that clients won't change their mind. It's just things that you can put in place, systems, contracts, things like that, that will actually protect you financially. And different ways of doing things. I will have different streams of work. That means I'm not reliant on that one big piece. So that kind of thing is that that's the real like nitty gritty, I guess, of business and dealing with freelance life as a business. Some of the other practical things that I look at are invoices. And I think invoices are a bugbear for almost every freelancer I know. So many of us, we are expected to sometimes deliver a piece of work before we've had any kind of contract. Often, lots of us never get any kind of contract at all. We do it on, goodwill and hoping that a client honors their word. But as quickly as we might turn something around, we're then waiting for our invoices to be paid for weeks and weeks and weeks, and sometimes months. And sometimes we can have like huge chunks of money waiting to come in, but our rent and our bills and our grocery shopping and healthcare costs and all of those things aren't waiting for, this money to come in. They need to be paid now, right? So ways that you can set processes in place to ensure that your invoices are paid on time, and what you can do if your invoices aren't paid on time and if they're late. Those are all things that I cover in these modules as well. And so what I think of this second part of this, the business of freelance, the kind of mechanics of it, I like to think of it as sort of like lifting the curtain a little bit on how much power you actually have as a freelancer. And what I really want to do with this course at the heart of all of it, there's all these different modules and all of this. All of it is designed to empower you as a freelancer. It's designed to put you in the driving seat, because I really actually want to see a bit of a revolution amongst freelancers. I really want us to have more power, more control, more autonomy in our careers. Like this, these are not hobbies we're talking about, right? We're not talking about like a side hustle. I mean, the word side hustle is such a what's the word, like a buzzword. But this for me is not a side hustle. This is it. Like, this has to work. I have to make my freelance career work. And I imagine for lots of you, it's the same. Like this, if you're going to be freelance, it has to work for you. But so many clients, so many organizations, not necessarily the biggest ones, small ones as well, can treat freelancers like absolute crap. They can treat us like we don't have our own personal life. We're supposed to be doing things in evenings and weekends because of this sense that we should just be grateful to get work. We are told what rate we're going to be paid, despite the fact that actually we are business owners as well. It is not for one side to dictate the rate. We are able to, and especially there are times where if you're a specialist in your particular field, or if there's a particular type of work that really a handful of people do, or for any other reason, you are the right person for this job and you are the one who gets to set the terms, not the client. But if you're behaving like an employee, or your mindset is still one of an employee, it won't occur to you to. So I really want us all to be so much better, and it can happen very easily within the space of a few weeks. We can put things in place that mean that we don't go to our gut reaction, which might come from fear, or it might come from just not being used to doing things in a certain way. Not all reactions are from fear. It might just be an instinctual reaction that comes because we're freelancing for people where we worked for them before as staff. That's super common. This has happened to me so many times. When I'm freelancing for someone who used to be my manager in a staff job, my mind doesn't really see them that differently, because I associate, I associate that person with my boss. And so if that person says, well, this is how much you're going to get paid, this is how long you're going to take to do something, I need you to work on the weekend. So, I sometimes, I don't do this anymore, but for a long time, I didn't really question it, because in my mind, they were my boss. But as a freelance business owner, they're not my boss anymore. They are now business partners. And that is a huge shift. And it can take time for that to happen. But through this course, I will show you exactly how to do that, exactly how to make that shift, so that you are in charge of your decisions a lot more. So another question that I got is in terms of finding clients, so how to bring clients in. So there's one entire module on exactly devoted to this, like finding clients, diversifying your income streams. But there's so much else that will actually help you bring more clients in, because in a newsletter that I'm sending out, I think it's going out as we speak right now, as I speak right now, I use the example of someone I've worked with called Maria. She's a former client. And when she came to me, she said, look, I've got a really good pedigree. I've got a great portfolio. The people I've worked with really like what I do. They really respect me, but I'm applying to all these things. I see adverts for a 2-month gig here, or this piece of editing work, or this report writing, or this design piece, or whatever. And I just don't seem to get anywhere. I don't seem to get any response at all. Or I get a response saying they've already found someone, or she was really disheartened. And so what we did some coaching together. And what we did is take her through every single element that can influence the decision of a client to respond, and not just respond, but to actually take her on. And so she didn't change anything really about how she actually worked. She was a great writer and editor already. But what she did was She improved her visibility massively. So she set up one particular channel on social media. She used LinkedIn a lot, so she kept going with LinkedIn and developed a very simple website. So this wasn't trying to turn her into like, some social media guru or to spend tons of money or time on a website. She just did some very simple things that massively increased her visibility. And then the way that then lots of other things like really condensing and strengthening basic things like her CV, how she talked about herself, how she referred to herself, so that rather than the sort of like scattergun approach of I can do 10 different things, she really narrowed it down so that her brand was super strong, so that as soon as a client came across her, they knew exactly what she was about. So sometimes maybe she wasn't the right person for them, but if she was a fit, they could immediately see that she was a fit. And so she started to get more work in. And that's, that's really what we want, right? From this, we want to be able to this isn't about like changing yourself chameleon-like to fit a client. There's that saying in for Hollywood actors where they say, even if you're asked whether you can ride a horse or not, just say yes. This isn't that. I'm not encouraging you to say you can design websites if you can't, or that you can edit huge manuscripts if you really cannot do that, if you can't do technical editing, or that you can design graphics if you can't. This isn't about pretending to do something you can't. It's none of it is fakery. It is just showing you and your skills and showcasing them in the absolute best way possible. And so if there's any part of you that is thinking, I don't know if I really love the idea of this, but financially, is this the right time for me to be investing because my career isn't going as great as it could be, and I wish I had more money coming in? I would say, and I say this from a place of not wanting you to overcommit to something you really can't, that just would be unethical, and so I would never encourage you to do that. But if there is, for example, there are several payment plans, including a 12-month payment plan, which really breaks the cost down so much more. If that's something you can do, and to think of it as, could you think of making just the cost of the course back through negotiating better, through getting gigs that you're applying for, freelance jobs that you are just not getting for some reason? That can be a way to actually make back the money of the course pretty quickly. So if you've got any queries or doubts like that, please just DM me, reach out to me by email or on my WhatsApp number that I will put in this post as well. And I would love to talk to you more. So because there's only just over 48 hours to go till doors close on this. We close at midnight on Friday the 29th. And so I really don't want you to miss out on what I think is going to be an amazing opportunity to just really level up your freelance career. Any questions at all, put them in the comments below this post, or yes, reach out to me separately. Okay, bye.